Hi guys, so in this video I'm with my girlfriend Nata, and today we're going to discuss her journey of moving to Portugal, what to expect when you move here, and the things you should be aware of when moving to Portugal. Let's get into the video.
Let's get into the video.
So what were your biggest challenges of moving to Portugal?
I think in general, meeting the people here, meeting new people was a bit hard in the beginning, but overall, I wouldn't say, it's always hard to move away from somewhere where you're used to being and then moving into a new place. But overall, I wouldn't say there were that many challenges because people here are very welcoming and I adapted pretty fast, I think.
So meeting new people was a challenge?
I think so. I think that was like the biggest challenge, meeting new people, yeah.
And why do you think that was? There's not as many people from the UK or America, English speaking. What was the main reason for having the challenge of meeting people?
I don't know, because overall people are quite friendly here, so I'm assuming you can meet people and there are a lot of foreigners, but I would say for me that was like the biggest challenge overall. I missed home a little bit, but then I think that was the biggest challenge, yeah.
Interesting. Now, what were your favorite areas of Portugal?
I definitely love the south because I live here. I do like Lisbon a lot, and I like parts of Lisbon like Cascais and around Lisbon is very beautiful. Even Setúbal and around Setúbal is very nice. But I would say my favorite place in Portugal, and I've been around quite a lot. I haven't been to north as much, so I wouldn't say anything about the north because I haven't been there, like Braga and these areas. Yeah. But
You've been to Porto though?
I've been to Porto, yes.
Yeah.
But I haven't been like more north than that. But I'd say my favorite part of Portugal is Arifana, so the west coast.
Interesting.
And I've actually found out yesterday from an Uber driver going to Porto airport that there are two Arifanas. So there's one Arifana that's close to Porto, and then there's another Arifana that's in the south. So I'm talking about the one in the west coast and the south. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, you're working here remotely in Portugal, so how do you find the work-life balance and how that differs to other countries that you've lived in the past?
I think Portuguese have it pretty good in terms of the work-life balance in general, because I know it's very important for them to spend time with their families on the weekends, and it's very important for them, for example, like every day lunchtime is like very important for them. So during lunchtime, they don't work, they don't do anything, they go to lunch, they enjoy their time. They can even have a glass of wine during work, which, for example, from my past experience is something I've never seen before. But yeah, I think it's pretty good in terms of the work-life balance.
Now let's get into some of the drawbacks that you found in Portugal compared to other countries that you've lived in as well, and what you're just kind of missing here from the general life and other elements.
That's an interesting question because I would say there are no drawbacks. When I start thinking about it, I can't even pick one. The only thing I would say, since we live in the south, there's not as much activity going on. So like if you like theaters or galleries or like this like lifestyle of always something happening, I would say I miss it a little bit, but then at the same time, Lisbon is 2.5 hours away and we go there pretty often. So when we can always go there and do that. So I wouldn't say there are any drawbacks because the weather's nice, people are nice, food is nice, wine is nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, something I always mention is that it's very accessible to get to Lisbon and then other countries nearby. It's incredibly cheap to fly here on the off season. You're getting flights for €15 to go anywhere in Europe to the UK, so you can travel easily, direct flights pretty much everywhere from Porto, Lisbon and Faro Airport, so it's really, really easy and accessible here.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I remember when I came here and you showed me the price of the tickets to go to Europe. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that exists.
Yeah, it's incredible.
€20 flight to go to London.
The economics are mind-blowing, but it is the case.
Yeah.
So if you had to say one thing that's your favorite thing about Portugal, what would that be?
I mean, wine.
Wine?
It's something that comes to mind straight away. I love the wine. Yeah, I'd say, food or wine. If I have to pick one, I think...
Food or wine?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's considering moving here and the first steps of, getting started and getting entrenched into the life here?
I'd say the first advice is move here because it's great. I don't know, I think just enjoy, because when I moved here, yeah, there was a bit of things to do with bureaucracy and all the documents and things, but at the end of the day, it's so small in comparison to what you're getting here I think if I had to give one advice, I would say don't think about those like small things that you have to go through, because
it's a couple days of your life, and then you get to live your life in a beautiful sunny country like
Portugal. Yeah, and you can always, as I said, it was a bit hard in the beginning to meet new people, but also because you're a bit stressed when you're moving. But at the end of the day, everyone's nice here. You have a lot to do. You have, it's beautiful, the weather, food, everything. So just enjoy, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. What does your day-to-day life look like in Portugal, and what you really enjoy doing the most and brings you the most happiness from this country?
Okay, so I'll answer first how my day-to-day looks like. I wake up, I love that I wake up to the beautiful sunny weather, and I'm privileged to say that I have a beach view, which is also very nice. Usually, obviously, I go for a run, or I go to the gym, or I do something because it's beautiful. I go for a hike. Then I come home, have my coffee, and then get into work. And then after work, also do something fun, like go for a hike, see some friends, or something like that. So it's quite nice day to day.
So you live in the Algarve along with me, and what pushed you towards moving to the Algarve over Lisbon and Porto or other more rural areas?
I'd say I was a bit biased because my family have been coming here, so I know my way around here. So that was obviously a big factor, because it was easier in terms of I know stuff here. But in general, I love Lisbon. So for someone who's moving, I'd say for a city life, I would definitely recommend Lisbon or Porto, because Algarve is very, silent. And
it's quite seasonal as well. It gets incredibly busy in the summer and then more quiet throughout the year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do think that everywhere, to be honest with you, every time I go to Porto, which I go quite often too, because I have my offices are located in Lisbon and Porto, so I go there quite a lot. And every time I go, I enjoy each place a lot. Like, I love going to Lisbon, and then I enjoy a lot going to Porto, because everywhere has a unique, Porto is beautiful architecture and art deco and everything. Then you go to Lisbon, there's so much to do. There's beautiful Belém, where you can walk around and also see a lot of things, and beautiful contemporary art museums, restaurants, of course. And then you come here and it's very different, but also beautiful, and I love living here. So I think every place has its own advantage. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. Everything's got its own beauty to it.
And even when people ask me where would you recommend moving, I never know how to answer, because I think every place has its own.
You should definitely always come here if you haven't been to Portugal many times. Rent for a mid-term rental where you're getting a couple months in each location, then you can decide before you take the big step of purchasing a property. I think it's always wise, unless your heart's set on a certain area, it's definitely wise to explore here, because each has its own unique thing going for it. The Algarve is incredibly warm and sunny all year round. Lisbon and Porto are a little bit colder, a little bit more rainy, but they have more history and architecture and everything going on, more of a city vibe. So it's definitely wise to make sure you have explored enough of the areas in Portugal to make a decision.
Yeah. And even now, it's the end of November, and I went to Porto a few days ago, and it's +20, and you can sit outside in cafes. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it does get cold though. Yeah. That's one thing you have to consider. The Algarve is definitely considerably hotter, and you have more days of blue sky and sunny weather for sure. And then Lisbon is just, in the middle of those two. So if weather's a big factor for you, like it is for me and you, I'm assuming as well, definitely the Algarve was the option for me, and weather kind of tipped the scales there for sure. Thanks for watching. I hope this was informative and helps you make a wise decision about moving here, and pushes you over the edge if you are, thinking about it. And if you are interested in purchasing a property here, you can click the first link in the description below. We are an exclusive buyer's agent, and we can help you move here seamlessly and easy. So I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Invite me more often. I enjoyed that.
Cool.